What's up guys, Chigs here from Chigs Tech Reviews. So this is the Black Shark 3, one of the most powerful gaming smartphones in the world right now. Now this powerhouse of a smartphone is priced at only £539. Now as we open up the box and lift up the insert, inside there is a clear TPU case, user manual and some Black Shark stickers. So next up you will see the Black Shark 3 smartphone. Wow, what a nice sized smartphone, interesting design. But for now let's just place it to the side and see what else we get in the box. So what's this? Game is real, 5G gaming, 90Hz hyper display and dual battery hypercharge. Now this comes with a 65-watt hypercharger, and in this little box we have a USB Type-C cable. And last but not least, the smartphone itself. So here it finally is in my hands, the most beautiful Black Shark 3. And under the hood you get the very latest Snapdragon 865 with 8 gigs of LPDDR4 RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage. And if you go for the 256 gig model, you get a much faster LPDDR5 RAM. Just want to quickly check out that silicone case to see how it looks. So it fits on quite snug. It will give you a degree of bumper protection and also a little bit of grip as well on the sides. So nice to have that TPU case included in the box. So you are looking at 6.67 inches of AMOLED beauty. That's Full HD Plus with a 90Hz refresh rate. Screen resolution is 1080 by 2400 with 395 pixels per inch. This is an absolutely stunning display, supports HDR10 Plus with Delta E accuracy, which means this phone has one of the highest color accuracies and produces the most realistic color in games and movies. Now the Black Shark 3 is made from a metal frame going all the way around with a metal and glass design on the back. It's a symmetrical looking design with 2 diamond shapes at the top and at the bottom, which are slightly raised to give you a more ergonomical feel in the hands. And the inner design, which kind of resembles an X, is made from glass, and these side parts on both sides are made from metal. So as a gaming phone you will be holding this in your hands for many hours, and I am actually quite surprised as to how comfortable this feels in the hands. So amazing premium design with a thickness of 10.4 millimeters and weighs 222 grams. And that thickness and weight is required for that comfortable feel in the hands. Now quick look at the ports. At the bottom of the smartphone you will find a single microphone and a USB Type-C charging port. And just slightly above you will see a single front firing speaker. And on the side we have a power button which is made from metal, and slightly further down you will find another button which is actually a sliding switch, and that activates the gaming UI. So it's a special gaming experience which we will look at a little bit later on. At the top of the smartphone we have a headphone jack, especially for the headphone jack lovers, and just above that you will find another single up-firing speaker. So we've got stereo up-firing speakers, people. And on the other side we have a dual nano SIM card tray which will take basically 2 nano SIM cards, but there is no space or expansion for microSD. Furthermore, this smartphone has the world's first dual battery system. So you have 2 batteries giving you a combined 4720 milliamp hours of battery power, and you get a 65-watt hyperfast charger included in the box. So what that means is 12 minutes of hypercharging equals 50% of battery, and 38 minutes of hypercharging equals 100% battery. That is absolutely insane fast charging. Now if that wasn't enough, you also have an 18-watt magnetic charging contact on the back of the phone, so you can pick up the optional magnetic charger cable, and that means you can charge this phone up whilst gaming, and the wire is completely out the way, allowing you to game freely whilst charging the phone at the same time. So this magnetic charger is better to use if you want to charge and play games at the same time, as the USB-C charger would somewhat get in your way from your gaming. Now the Black Shark 3 supports both NSA and SA 5G networks. You also have Wi-Fi 6, which is 270% faster than Wi-Fi 5, combined with dual X antennas all the way around the frame of the smartphone, provides you the most stable connection when you're holding the phone with two hands. Now the dual channel connection also allows you to connect to 5G and Wi-Fi at the same time. Now this smartphone is all about gaming for long hours. You have an advanced liquid cooling system called Sandwich Liquid Cooling. So that means you have liquid cooling pipe and copper alloy shelters on both the top and bottom side of the main board. This in fact improves cooling efficiency on both sides of the smartphone, and to further enhance your experience you have that beautifully smooth 90Hz refresh rate along with a TrueView display and hardware DC dimming that basically adjusts the brightness and color temperature of the screen to match the surrounding ambient light, so it keeps things comfortable for your eyes during those long game sessions. And something that simply blew my mind were the speakers. You have front-firing stereo speakers, and what's amazing is both speakers produce the same power and volume, so one side is not lower than the other. This feels like a proper stereo sound setup, and it does get pretty loud, and sound quality is outstanding, probably the best I have heard on a smartphone. And the fact that they are front-facing speakers means you're not going to block the sound whilst playing your games. Now the fingerprint sensor alone is an experience in its own right. Every time you reach your thumb to the sensor, you get a thrill out of it. You will feel some haptic feedback, and then a graphic spins around your thumb. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's actually a thrilling experience to unlock your smartphone. And I don't think I mentioned it's fast and accurate too. Now let's talk about the cameras. On the back we have a triple camera setup, 64 megapixel main, 13 megapixel ultra wide and 5 megapixel depth sensor. Now the 64 megapixel main sensor is actually the Samsung S5K GW1, which is the same sensor we have seen in the recently launched Realme X50 Pro. So off the bat I already know it's going to take great photos. But you can also shoot 4K at 60 frames per second max. So unfortunately no 8K recording available on this smartphone. And on the front we have a 20 megapixel camera which is capable of shooting 1080p at 60 frames per second max. So let's go ahead and check out the camera menus. So lots of options here, beginning with slow motion, short video, video, photo, portrait mode, night mode, panorama, 64 megapixel mode, and you also have a pro mode. And here are a few sample shots I took with this camera, both indoor and outdoor. So switching to the rear camera is 4K at 60 frames per second. The video looks fairly stable, but there's no option for image stabilization in settings. So I'm not sure if we have image stabilization when shooting 4K 60. But the video quality itself looks pretty good on the screen. So just to make sure, quick jogging test. So we are now shooting 4K at 30 frames per second. So 1080p at 60 frames per second. Now at least in this mode I am hoping for image stabilization, but it appears that every video resolution seems a bit shaky. So I don't think we have image stabilization in any video mode, but that remains to be seen. Now if you go into Pro mode, you can actually activate 256 megapixel photos. So it takes around 14 seconds to capture and render a photo at this high resolution. Now it basically stitches together multiple 64 megapixel shots to make up a single 256 megapixel photo. File size is just over 100 megabytes for each photo, and the resolution is 18432 by 12824. So there you have it guys, that was my hands-on with the Black Shark 3. Now this is running Android version 10 with Joy UI version 11 on top. Now the OS looks good, is totally themed for gaming, and you can just feel the performance of the Snapdragon 865. Everything you do is super fast on this handset, and the 90Hz refresh rate keeps everything looking nice and smooth. Now my experience so far has been quite good. In fact, I am impressed with this smartphone. It's an absolute joy to game on. I do really like that 90Hz display combined with a very good battery life. Now I was able to achieve a full day battery life with heavy usage, playing many hours of games like PUBG and Call of Duty Mobile, and the 65-watt hypercharger gets you nearly to 100% within 30 minutes, which is incredible. And whilst playing games, I was quite happy to know that my Black Shark 3 has a 270Hz touch response rate, so it's got the world's lowest latency touch, resulting in faster trigger and more fluidity with your touch gestures. Now I have planned a separate video for the gaming side, as there are some great gaming features in the smartphone, and this video is going to be too long if I include it all in one. Now let's jump straight to my tests, DRMs and benchmarks. So first of all, we have Google Widevine level 1, and in the Wi-Fi speed test we achieved 56 megabits per second download and 18 megabits per second upload, so close to my top speed of 60 megabits per second. Now the internal disk speeds were very fast. We are talking about 1 gigabyte per second read and 268 megabytes per second write. And Geekbench multi-score we achieved 3371, and in the latest version of Antutu this phone achieved 573K. So let's see how this compares with the others. So here is my top performing smartphone chart of 2020. Now all these smartphones have been ranked by Antutu scores. Now as you can see, the Black Shark 3 has taken position 6 on this chart with a benchmark score of 573K. Now you can view the full versions of all my charts online at chixtech.com and read them at your leisure. So the question is, should you buy this smartphone? Well, for £539 you are getting top-end flagship specs. Most Snapdragon 865 smartphones are priced well over 800, and some of them are above £1,000. So this already seems like a bargain at this price point. But to be cheaper, a few things had to be left out. So there is no wireless charging, no NFC, no IP rating, and no MicroSD card slot. Now if you can live without those missing features, and I know most of us can, then this is one of the best flagship gaming smartphones you can buy right now. Now do let me know what you guys think of this smartphone. Meanwhile, hit that like button if you want me to drop a dedicated gaming review of this handset. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.